Hello, everyone. Welcome to American Dream Life. Today, I'm with Liana, and I provide to you those series to share with you amazing people who went through their journeys to discover their full potential and how to live American dream. Liana is not in America; she is in Europe, but she's doing amazing things for her community. She's from Russia originally, and to actually expose them to an English language and connect it in with people in America and other countries throughout the world. So I believe you will see a lot of value of what she will be sharing with us, her story, and what she does for her community, and in the process of expanding that community, not just offering for Russian people, but also for other nationalities as well throughout the world. So take it away, Liliana. Tell us something more about you.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this series. I'm always very excited when people want to change something about their lives, when people want to have a happier, more fulfilled life. That I'm grateful to be part of that if my story can help anyone. So about me, I run an online school of English, and I've been doing this for the last 6 years and a half. And before that, I had a corporate job, which I liked at the beginning, but then it got very stressful, and I had no idea how can I handle the stress, and I did not do very well. So I couldn't fall asleep at night, or sometimes I would wake up at 5 a.m. and could not go back to sleep, and I would be so stressed and tired and just anxious the whole time. And it was just, I didn't know what to do with myself, because I thought, if this is me now having such a cool position in such a great company with all career possibilities in front of me, and now I cannot handle it, okay, I can quit, but what will I do with my life? But then it just carried on for a few months, for 9 months actually, and then at the end I decided to quit, and I had no plans, no ideas, no anything, but I just knew I had to stop it. And that was 7 years ago. I quit my job, and by the time I could speak a bit of English, a bit of French, and I lived in Russia, where I'm from. And I thought, while I'm trying to figure out what I can do with my life, I can be an English tutor or a French tutor. And I never took it seriously. I thought, I know so much better than being a tutor. But then I just started, and then people liked it. And because I did as a part of my job, and because I enjoyed myself, I did a lot of trainings, different types: sales training, communication skills training. And then I decided to use all of these exercises in my English tasks, in my English courses. And people liked it, because I guess when people learn a foreign language, they be tired from learning grammar, learning vocabulary, because it's all useful. But then when you talk to a real person, people often realize they need something different. So I guess, though I didn't plan to become an English teacher, I managed to use all my previous experience. And then I started doing webinars, and then I started doing online courses with 5 students at a time, 10 students at a time. And that's my husband, who is English, and having a British person with me in my team, that helped me massively to advertise my courses, to say, look, I have a native speaker, unlike other Russian English courses. And then since we got married, I moved to the UK, and my school grew and got big, and I had more students and more students. And now I've had around more than 1,000 students, and that's been great. And then I'm very happy that I managed to quit my job, and that I did not come back to the place where I did not want to be, and that online courses helped me to make it real.
Amazing. Can you share what was the name of the company you used to work for?
I used to work for L'Oreal in Moscow.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that and your story. It's amazing. You saw opportunity. You felt that you didn't fit in what you were doing, and you accepted that instead of just sitting there and being miserable at it and not giving your full. You decided to take a stand for yourself and go to work for yourself and figuring out what you can do to serve others. So that's amazing. So you weren't thinking just about yourself, but how you can build a community, how you can bring others on board and assist them and serve them. And so with the company, you start sharing a little bit. What else are you doing with your company other than webinars and online courses? So can you share a little bit more of your services? How?
Yeah, so the name of my online school is called Epidemic of English, and the idea is that people need to just catch this virus and spread it further. And in order to do that, we have a Skype group, so all people talk to each other in English, and this is their task. This is how they can improve their speaking skills. So it will be a video, then a few useful phrases that they can use while they're traveling or when they apply for a job. Or then there is a task that, now imagine it's a job interview and you need to play like one of you wants to get a job and the other one holds the interview, and then people talk through it. And one of the results is that their English improves, because often people read a lot, write a lot, and then when they meet the real person, they know so much in their head, but they can and doing this kind of exercises help people to speak with less pauses, help people to speak more confident, to use different vocabulary. That was one of the results. But another amazing result, which I did not really expect, was that people connect to each other. Normally we have around 100 students per course, so it's a lot of people in different towns, with different backgrounds, with different stories, of different age. But when they start talking to each other in order to do their task, they just meet someone new and they share their life stories, and sometimes they can help each other. Just by listening to each other, it gives them this feeling that that they were there for some person, or they could ask something. So that's why it makes me believe that in any situations you just need to connect to other people and not necessarily ask for help or ask advice, which is always good, but also just being with others, talking to others, helps you to kind of disconnect all your fears and constant conversation that you have in your head through other people. And online technologies nowadays can do amazing things, and we're doing this through Skype practice. So that helps people to connect, and they make new friends, and they just enjoy each other's companies. Because I think nowadays no adult people will ever say that they don't have enough friends, that they are searching for a friend. It's okay to say that you're searching for your soulmate. It's okay to say that you're searching for your significant other, you're looking for a job. But adults are not very good, I think, in making friends. And I understand they're very busy, and but also it's important. Just human interaction, talking to each other, is good for anyone.
I believe so. Yes, we really so disconnected in today's world, being busy with their own lives, their own words, and kind of blaming that we don't have enough time because we have to work, but we don't have enough time for our families, and vice versa, and always in that kind of catching up mode. So what you're doing is really amazing, and especially being growing up in Russia, and you probably know about the stereotypes of Russian and the Western world, that you actually took upon yourself to connect those two words. It's an amazing, it's like a movement of making that synergy in the world. So you're doing amazing things. Keep on doing, and that, yes, you just kind of put like a pebble in the water, and it's like starts spreading and doing that ripple effects of growing. Like you said, you just started small, and you already at like 1,000 students that you have in the program, and it's, yes, them learning English, but the kind of the reason behind is for them to connect and communicate. And that's the reason what people are looking right now, because they disconnected. They're looking to find that connect again, to get themselves out of that busyness and go to the world of connecting and having meaningful conversation. And the English, yes, yeah, it's throughout the world. It seems like one of the common languages that people can, yes, can use it to express their feelings, express their thoughts with each other, and create better work. So yeah, so share a little bit more how.
That's the plan.
So share a little bit more with me how that make you feel, how it growing your beliefs in yourself, doing that to others.
uh, well, yes, I think me now and me 7 years ago when I was waking up at 5 a.m. is like completely two different people in terms of how I see myself, because then I thought I failed in life. I had a job, and I don't want to have it. And if I fail at this job, there is no point getting another job because it will be the same. So everyone has a job. What's wrong with me? And then by starting teaching, and then when you teach, I think it's just a blessing that you can see how it's a very rewarding experience. So even when you help one person or 5 people or 1,000 people, it's the same. If you are able to help someone, then every time you think of yourself like, wow, that was like powerful, real, and how great it is. And of course, I always, as many people, I always want to have more, and that's not enough, and I could have done better. But thinking about this now, especially when I compare myself even to a year ago time or 5 years ago time, I think that doing something increases your self-esteem much more than if you look in the mirror and keep saying to yourself, I'm such a confident person, I can do anything. Yes, that is helpful too, but only by doing something, changing something, and constantly hearing feedback from people, you think, oh wow, I didn't know I was capable of that. I didn't know that what we've created can help people in such different ways. Then if one person said this, 50 people said this, 100 people said this, maybe we do something great. Maybe I've created something great. And it's not the mood that I'm daily in, but when I do take a moment, I think, actually I did something good.
Amazing. Yes, and you're bringing a great point of taking action, because yes, we can talk to ourselves, practice. Yes, it's important to build initially some confidence so we're ready to talk to others, but just get yourself out of that mirror talk and just go out and take action and communicate with others, connect with others, and then you see really amazing things. It's not just for others, because many times there's some kind of ego in us talking, being kind of selfish, or sometimes even fear of rejection, talking to the other individual, especially somebody on the street. It's like so unpopular right now, like why I would talk to a stranger. But that's, you can, when you build a little bit of that courage and start opening up, strangers become your friends actually. You can start talking and sharing some and find out, it seems like if you wouldn't even open your mouth, it will be a stranger to you. But when you start communicating with each other, all of a sudden, maybe you live in the same town, maybe you were born in the same town, or maybe you share some other common thing together, and you like feel like, wow, amazing. If I wouldn't have that conversation, I wouldn't learn that this person, yes, we have some common things with each other. So yes, yeah, so that's awesome. Yes, so it's kind of time to share a little bit more about the heritage. We kind of spoil a little bit and share that you are from Russia, but can you explore on that, how it started for you? What part of Russia? And
I lived almost all my life in Moscow, and I was 27 when I met my husband, and then I moved to the UK. But because I teach online, then I carried on doing what I'm doing, and then I feel like and also we travel a lot, and I feel like every time I spend some time with my in-laws or anyone in England, I'm learning something new, and obviously the way, I don't know, I dress up is changing, the way the food that I'm eating is probably changing to what it was when I lived in Russia. But in important things, I feel like I don't have to fit in, like I can be who I am, and also I can accept and respect what's around me, and not to try to teach people how to the ways that I'm used to, but also they're not trying to teach me, they're not trying to change me. And I think in the important things, I probably, in many things I've changed my mind since I moved to the UK, but in many things it's the same. And it's very interesting to talk about like different like topics, like what do you think about men and women, and every time you start this conversation you never know where it brings you. And it's, I think when you are aware that how much it was influenced by the way you were raised and what you saw, but that not necessarily the only right way, but also where you are in a new place, also not necessarily that this is the right way, but when you kind of try to keep in your mind all of these things together and enrich your beliefs, and that would kind of crash into your identity. I think it's possible, though I can see why it can be hard. But yes, I think when you're in your heart true to yourself and respect others and learn from them, it's possible to stay who you are.
Amazing. Thank you so sharing for this deeper sharing of, yes, accepting other, moving from one country to the other, and not kind of losing your identity and your heritage, but trying to assimilate with a new culture to a certain degree, so you have a better understanding and, like you mentioned, respect for others, and taking kind of just the best out of two cultures to improve, to enhance your skills. That's really brilliant. That's what a lot of people not getting, and that's the reason for actually that series, for more people getting that's what they can do. They feel that if they for example, coming from other country, they should stick to their culture and afraid to move to a new thing because they feel like deserving their own culture and deserting, I should say. So but it's further from the truth. We just grow with that enhancement of learning about new culture and assimilating that new culture, learning about new people. Our beliefs just keep growing, not lessen. So so that's really amazing. Thank you so much. We like think alike. For yes,
well,
yes.
Now I have a son. He's 1 year and 3 months. And my dream that he'll be a bilingual child, but also I want him to feel that he's English and Russian at the same time. I don't want him to think he's half English, half Russian. Also, I don't want him to think he's only English or only Russian, but I want him to think he's both English and Russian. I want him to be fluent in both languages. So now my job, not only to keep my heritage to myself, but to pass it to my child. So that's my biggest challenge for now.
Awesome, amazing. Yes, that's another part. Assimilating with different culture, but maintaining the heritage and passing to the next generations. And so that's amazing what you're doing for your child. And maybe he won't see that right now, but eventually he will thank you at some point. I have similar story with my child. I'm from Poland, and we kind of assimilated her with Polish and English, and English kind of overpower to a certain degree, but when she wants something, she speaks Polish, and and she recently discovered, going through some summer, not the summer, Saturday school, she was able to actually get some credits in her American high school for knowing another language. So she didn't have to have a foreign language class because they credited her Polish for that. So she got credit. So she started seeing more value into knowing another language. sometimes she was resistant to, because it was extra thing, learning new language, especially going to like Saturday school for 4. So she was in school for 6 days instead of 5. So, but she finally saw the value, and I'm so proud of her. So, yes, yeah.
No,
So
good. Like, stories like yours inspire me that it is possible, and I hope I can.
sure, absolutely, it's possible.
Also is fluent, but we'll see. He's only 1 year now.
Sure, yes, yeah, yeah. But like I said, just don't let him talk you out of it, and just go with it. And yeah, at some point, yes, he will see the value in it, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, so that's amazing. So can you share a little bit about like what you do to celebrate your cultures, some special traditions or customs that during the holidays or foods or?
Well, in Russia, the biggest holiday is New Year. It's Christmas. So every year, first we'll have a big Christmas with all my English family or my in-laws, but then after that there is a New Year, and I would cook sometimes some traditional dishes. And last year, for example, we had my mother-in-law around and my brother-in-law, and this is the traditional food that we have for New Year, and that's part of it. The other part of it is the Russian language itself. So I speak to my boy in Russian, and yes, and then we see, like, my brother only recently visited us, so I want to keep these connections as often, to see people as often as possible, just to help him to speak Russian. And yes, and also, for example, there is one tradition that I really like in Russia, and I miss it living in England, is when you have a birthday or any celebration, everyone will have a toast and say something nice and kind of sentimental speech to the person, for example, who has a birthday. So and when a birthday is celebrated in England, everyone brings a card, everyone brings a present, but to me, I kind of feel that what a nice experience, to my taste, people would have if everyone would say to the birthday person, saying, what an amazing person you are. I wish you love and happiness. Do you remember this amazing time this year that we shared? I'm so grateful to you. And this is what a toast is in Russia. So people think that when we drink, we say na zdоровье, but it's not true. People every time say a long, sentimental speech. Every time I say this to my husband, he says, if someone tells this to me, I'll be so embarrassed. I would never want to hear this. But to me, this is something nice. And there was one birthday, when I had my birthday this year, I was with my friends, with my husband's friends, all of them were English. And I said, because it's my birthday, I love this tradition and I miss it. So maybe you can all make a toast to me. And they said, yeah, sure, give us an example. And again, in Russia, people will say nice thing to the person who has his birthday or any anniversary or any event. But then this person will say, I'm so pleased I have you in my life. This time you helped me. This time we had an amazing time. I'm so pleased and grateful that we're friends and we're connected. Thank you so much for coming tonight, but also thank you for being in my life. And I hope our connection will stay there for many, many years to come. So when they said, give us an example, this is what I said. And then they said a few things. And I think it was nice because, well, definitely was nice for me, but I think they enjoyed it as well, because sometimes it's not kind of appropriate to say to a person, actually, I never told this to you, but I wish you love and happiness and health, and I wish you all the best in life, and I'm so grateful I have you. So I tried this with my friends. I suggested once to my husband, can we do this when we celebrate your dad's birthday? And he said, not this year, I think. So I'll try this again because I like it. And then vice versa. I like so many things about English people. And because I teach English, it's very easy for me to share this kind of part of culture when people are much more polite and less direct than the way we talk in Russia. And I would always say at any webinars, if you learn English, if you don't learn English, but just how great it is that an English person, and I guess it's kind of the same in America, would never tell you why you have kids. No, do you have kids? I mean, it's a normal question, but like, why don't you have kids? When are you having the second one? And in Russia, it's such a big part of the culture, but people don't like it. So especially if you're a young single girl all of your relatives, all of your friends say to you so many times, what's wrong with you? Why you're not married? So at my webinars, I say as a kind of, I presented this as this, and you need to know when you come to England. But actually, why don't you use this in Russia? Why don't you stop talking to all the single girls saying, why you're not married? And sometimes people send me messages back saying, I tried to use your kind of recommendation how to talk in English and apply them in my native language with my colleagues, with my family, and it's great. And I think that's very easy for me with webinars to start telling people what they should be doing. So yes, maybe I'll find a way to make some kind of webinars where I'll be inviting people to say toast to each other, to celebrate each other's companies. That would be nice as well, I guess.
Yeah, that will be amazing, actually. People, I think, with your husband, because it's a new thing for him, and he is not used to hearing something nice about himself. But people really need to hear it, and they strive for it, but they don't know how to ask for it. So you really kind of breaking another breakthrough barrier of actually sharing that appreciation for and others hearing about how amazing they are. It's really, that's in itself growing their courage and confidence in themselves, believe in themselves. When they're hearing from others, that's the feedback, because many times they don't believe in themselves. And when they're hearing this kind of feedback, positive feedback, that people see them this way, it really can make a tremendous difference in their lives. It just, yes, being kind of more open to that experience. They so used to kind of reprogram through their lives of not receiving that. And I grew up with that as well. In Poland, it wasn't that common to praise others. It was, yes, we were toasting as well for occasions, but just to kind of wish, kind of general wishes, not to just really celebrate that person. It's their birthday. That person needs to be celebrated and hear how amazing they are, what they're doing and who they are, who they being. So yeah, so that's another amazing thing. Yeah. So yeah, you need to work on kind of how to spread that more about the Russian toast tradition, how to celebrate.
I have an idea. My idea is that because I have so many people talk in English, ideally to people whose native language is English, somewhere in America or in England or anywhere in the world, I guess lonely people at home and would benefit from talking to and I'm kind of trying to approach some charities who are into looking after elderly people to say, why don't you suggest to your people who sit at home for any other reasons, if they connect on Skype to my participants?
Wow.
I think there are many situations in life when someone is home, and being a volunteer often makes them feel better about themselves. But I guess if you stay home and you're not, but when it's Skype conversation, I guess the person, let's say an American who is fluent in English, it's native language, will talk to someone from Russia in English. First, he will feel so much better about himself because he was helping someone. But I think also it will benefit them, because again, it's so important to talk to people, and sometimes you don't know where to go to, who to approach to talk to. Like we often joke with my husband, who is as well a musician, that if you're like a single guy or girl, go to a bar and then you expect that you can talk to each other on Skype, and we have a very friendly environment, and everyone is surprised that all people nice, but it's because we make sure that everyone is nice to each other, and we encourage them to be nice to each other and super friendly. And I'm sure that there are some people, maybe in America, maybe in England, maybe anywhere in the world, who are at home, isolated because of any reasons, and they would like to talk to other people. And maybe some elderly people, and some often they would be all right financially, they don't need to be paid for their time, but they feel like they want to connect to more people. And what I have in mind is like some kind of online volunteering. If someone who feels lonely and that he can talk to more people, that he can talk to my students on Skype as often as he wants, or as little as he wants, at any time. And then first it will help you to feel better about yourself because you're helping someone. But also, again, because you talk to someone, it's just so much better than watching a film on TV. It's like a film, but in a real life with real people. So I'm trying to approach charities who are dealing with elderly people to say, listen, I have people, you have people who are probably lonely. Let's connect them. Let's put them together. I didn't succeed so far, but that's my idea. And I still strongly believe my Skype students can help someone to feel more connected to people, not to feel so lonely, to help other people. And then because we have one lady from England who's English who's talking to my students, she's already visited Russia twice, and she's just having such a nice time by like staying at your home and learning about new people and talking to new people. And that for her is like almost traveling without leaving the house, and it's just interesting to meet other people. So if anyone is in this position, or maybe knows someone who stays home a lot, doesn't want to go out, but misses human interaction, I have Skype students, friendly, nice. They're not fluent in English, but they can have a decent conversation in English. And sometimes it's just interesting to discuss, do you think apples are better or oranges are better? But sometimes it leads to the conversations, what do you think about maternity leave paid and how? And then it's interesting to have this kind of conversations.
Awesome. That's amazing. Another kind of connection between people, and especially, yes, elderly people sitting alone, and yes, just watching TV. They can definitely, have that opportunity of that human interaction, and they it will be good for them because they won't feel alone, and for people, for your community to improve their English skills. It's amazing. It's a brilliant idea. So just go. Yes, yeah, that, yes. Our audience here possibly will, start kind of thinking. Sometimes just it's enough to plant the seed of idea how to, and they can reach out to you, and we just kind of will be sharing how they can contact you. So about that, and that would be amazing. And yeah, so it's kind of time to share a little bit more what you would love to share with our audience, a kind of complimentary gift that you are willing to kind of offer so they can connect with you. Can you share a little bit more?
Yes, well, since I've been teaching English for the last 7 years, I've kind of have I developed a system how one can learn any foreign language quicker than in a traditional way in a school with a textbook. And the system makes people to improve their listening skills and to improve their speaking skills, because there are plenty of textbooks and tutors who explain grammar and lots of stuff. But listening skills and speaking skills are the core of any communication. And I recorded a video with these tips that you can apply to any language and just understand better and be confident, be more confident while you're talking at any level. So if anyone is interested, please contact me and I'll send you this video, which you can apply again to any foreign language.
Yeah, amazing. So how they can contact you about that offer, about that video? You mentioned about the book, right? going through the Facebook, so how they connect with Facebook. We will have a link included, but if you can just say it, what is your Facebook page where they can go?
So yes, my full name is Liana Khafizova Mumford. So yes, if you find me on Facebook, Liana Khafizova Mumford. Mumford would be probably easier to find. And yes, just send me a message and I'll send you the video.
Okay, that will be great. Thank you so much for this offer. I believe a lot of people, yeah, they're interested in learning more about the language, but they considering it's difficult, especially for somebody not like us being bilingual or multilingual. It's easier because we were introduced as a children to those different languages, but for others like American, for example, it might be harder, and they don't believe in themselves enough as adults with some limited beliefs that they can learn another language. So possibly your methods will grow their beliefs in themselves that they can do it. That's another example, amazing idea that you have to, yeah, to help others. So yes, you are amazing movement.
Very much.
Yeah.
Another way to grow your beliefs about yourself is to have more interviews and then just people say how amazing you are. Thank you very much. It's been very nice.
You're welcome. Yes, yeah. I have a blast today with you on this interview. It's really, you're doing amazing things for the community. It started as you kind of felt more compelled helping your community, but helping your community, how it created kind of movement of expanding that, and in the process of helping your community you can help how many more people with those interaction for the elderly throughout the world, connecting them and helping each other out. Your toasts in Russia, and yeah, so that's amazing. So yeah, so how what would you kind of as a final kind of wrapping up thoughts or quote you would like to share with the audience?
Connect with more people. That all good things come through other people, whether it's a job, whether it's a feeling, whether it's a thing that you have, it always comes through other people. So the more people you know, the deeper your connections are, the more things you get in your life, and the more fulfilled life you're living, and the more experience you are having through other people. And in order to do that, one should improve their communication skills to make these connections healthier and better and more meaningful for both sides. So
Amazing.
Connect and be nice and respectful in this connection.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really amazing. So thanks again for being with us today and sharing great,
Thank you
yes,
for having me.
yes, more about you and what you do. You're doing amazing things, and yes, yeah. So I will, yeah, definitely people will want to connect with you and hear more about helping you and learning about the tips on how to improve their communication skills through different languages or learning other language. So yeah, thank you so much again.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.